My name is Marina Piccinini, and I am a flutist. I'm in London right now because I'm here to give the UK premiere of the Aaron J. Kernes Flute Concerto, which he wrote last year. People always ask me where I'm from because my name is Italian, but my accent is a little bit of everything, and I'm a little bit of everything. I think that's part of the problem with me. I am half Italian. My father's Italian. My mother was Brazilian. And I grew up in Brazil, I grew up in Switzerland, I grew up in Canada. And then when I was 18 years old, I went to New York to study at the Juilliard School. Stayed there for a long time, so I think my English is a bit of a mixture of everything. Then I moved to Vienna, and I've been living in Vienna for many years. So every language that I speak has suffered, and I sound like I just don't belong in any language. But on the other hand, I can also say that I belong in every language, a little bit, not completely. So I have an unusual upbringing with the flute because I heard the Magic Flute, the Mozart opera, when I was 7 years old. We were living in Switzerland, and that was the moment that I asked my father if I could play the flute. And my love of the flute really stems from that performance, which is very closely connected to the fact that it was an opera and it was a vocal performance and a dramatic performance. Never quite sure which of those things really sparked my interest, but somehow it landed on the flute. Yet I was told that I was too small to play the flute, so I was given a recorder to start on. I really disliked it because it was not the flute. And then when we moved to Canada, again I asked if I could play the flute, and then I was given a flute in the band. I started in band. Leo Sandoval was our band director, and he was a trumpet player, and he said, okay, sit down, I'm going to show you how to breathe. This is how we trumpet players breathe. Pretty sure this is how you breathe. And that was the only lesson I had. He gave me a book, and he said, learn how to play the flute from that. And that's what I did until I was 16 years old, when I was fortunate enough to go to Toronto and meet Jeannie Baxtresser, who took me on as her student. So she was my very first teacher, and I could not have been luckier. What an amazing person, musician, flutist, teacher, mentor. And after 2 years of studying with Jeannie, she said, I think it's time you should go to New York. And so I moved to New York, and I started studying with Julius Baker at the Juilliard School. Now, Julie had been her teacher as well, so there was a sense of tradition and continuance and family with all of this. And he was a wonderful mentor as well, a wonderful teacher. And during my years of studying with Julie at Juilliard in the summers, I would go to Switzerland because I had fallen in love with a pianist who I married and have been married to ever since. And I wanted to chase him around, so I would go to Europe in the summer, and I studied with Nicolai during those summers. So these were my three main flute teachers. I think there are three aspects of my musical life that I most enjoy. One is the variety of all that I can do, from playing concertos with orchestras, chamber music with great musicians, recitals, recording, and teaching. That's a huge part of what I do as well. So I think the variety is one of the great aspects. The second aspect is the fact that I'm able to constantly improve and learn. The curiosity is never ending, and I think that that's one of the most exciting things about being a musician and an artist, is that you're always searching for something, you're always improving, uncovering more things. And then the third aspect is actually the people that I work with, because the music is about communication, and whether I'm communicating with the artists that I'm working with on stage, or the students that I'm imparting information to or getting from, or the audience that you're playing for. I think it's that human aspect of communication that's thrilling. So this flute is really beautiful. It was made for me by Mr. Stephen Finley and Haynes. I had absolutely no say in what was going to happen. I had absolutely no say. They just knew exactly what I was going to love, and they were really right. It's a white gold flute with 14 karat gold everything else. It has a C-sharp trill. It's inline. I only like inline. It's a B foot, and it has a split E. And the thing about it is that it's a very mercurial instrument. The sound is elusive, mysterious, a little willful, adaptable, flexible. It's a relationship. It's a flute that you have a relationship with. You speak to it, it speaks to you. You work together with what you want, and I love that quality. It's also incredibly in tune. I have to say the intonation is just spot on. I love this flute.